What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about a couple booster boxes that are making their way back up in terms of market price. And then we're also going to take a look at some cards that we normally don't cover because they're promo cards or cards that you couldn't get from a booster box, because a lot of those are also doing fairly well over the past, say, month or two. So we'll start off with OPO5. And this is a box that I talked about religiously when I started this channel. I said, and I still believe, that OPO5 is a very good investment. I think these sets long term, like 05, 09, even, Romance Dawn, you could throw in there, PRBO1. These are the no-brainer sets so far that we've gotten in One Piece. OPO5, you have that Gear 5 Luffy manga. You also have the Ichiroda stamped card, which is a card that we should talk about because over the past 6 months, up about 10% on TCG Player, but that puts it about 1,400. The most recent sales, $1,700 from today, actually. I'm recording this on the 26th. Yesterday, there was a sale closer to $1,600, $1,575. So I think for all intents and purposes, this is like a $1,550 card, somewhere in that range right now. If you guys watched the eBay auction videos, the PSA 10 of this has been going for about $3,000 in English as of late. We saw a black label sell for over $6,000. So this card is definitely on the way up. Now the manga card kind of just staying in that range, $2,800. But even if it doesn't go to the moon, we don't see that Gear 5 Luffy push like 3K raw ever again, this is still a very deep set. I mean, you have multiple mangas too, which is something I didn't mention. You have the Trafalgar Law manga, you have the Captain manga, you have a Nami SP, which is great, Yamato, Uta, like some other decent supporting characters. But I don't think a lot of people really paid attention to this set over the past 6 weeks. That's why I did want to bring it up, just because after that restock, reprint, whatever you want to call it, in the US, where a lot of Bandai stores were getting this, you could buy it at MSRP. We're all the way down at like $220 again. I think you probably saw sales even below $200, maybe off platform on Facebook or whatever. But since then, towards the middle of July, this box has just been climbing back up. And most recent sales on TCG Player, fairly close to like 250, 245, 248. You have one sale here from yesterday, $280 USD. So keep an eye on O5. And I just want to say one more thing about O5 and even the earlier sets like OPO1 to O4. I know there's lots of talk going around right now about reprints of these sets because someone on Reddit posted a photo of themselves in a store in Japan, I believe, and there were packs of O1 to O4 available. I didn't look super deep into that, so I don't know if there's actually proof that that's a reprint or just a restock from like a distro or whatever. Maybe it's a store that just had some product that put more out. If it was a reprint, right, and there is actual factual evidence of it being a reprint, cool, that's a different story. But I think a lot of the time in this hobby, especially in One Piece, I don't know what it is about this card game. Maybe it's just because it's on such a smaller scale right now. In Pokemon, we have a lot more established players when it comes to like providing news, like PokeBeach, and a lot of people with YouTube channels that have distro access. It's fairly easy to get the flow of information out there and know what's legit and what's not. Whereas in One Piece, I feel like a ton of the information, whether it's coming for like reprints or pull rates on a certain set, like so much of this comes from just random Twitter posts or like Reddit threads, whatever it is, right? And I just don't think that that is very solid evidence for anything. But even if these sets get reprinted, guys, the way I look at investing in One Piece or Pokemon or any other TCG is I pick the best sets to go the heaviest in, and if there are reprints or restocks, I just buy more, right? I dollar cost average. So for me, it's not something that I spend tons of time worrying about. Obviously, there's going to be better times to buy certain products. For example, I wouldn't be touching OP12 right now. I would be waiting. I think the price is going to come down on that box. Obviously, a lot of the singles in that set, even like OP11 at this point, I think some of those singles will continue to come down. But the point is, like, in the macro, it really doesn't matter if reprints come. It's really just going to delay potential gains. But if you're positioned accordingly and you're planning for reprints and you're planning to dollar cost average, it's not going to be a big deal, right? So even if we get more O5, whatever, just buy more. For people that aren't able to afford to buy more boxes if reprints come, well, then maybe you have to think about potentially spending your money differently. Maybe at that point, it's not worth buying some of these more expensive sets. Maybe start buying something like Royal Blood, or I don't know, Two Legends at this point is even up to like 115, but maybe buy cheaper boxes at that point. So if a reprint comes, you might be able to afford a reprint on that box, or also it probably just won't have as big of effect on the price. But I think that's enough talk about OP5. I do want to get through this video fairly quickly here. There's the cards again, but the other set I did want to talk about is 09. This is a set we haven't talked about too much on the channel over the past couple months. We now are back up to about $187 on TCG Player. That's definitely not the all-time high. I think we were up to around 197, yeah, 198 back in the middle of May, but back to around $190 is decent to see. You do have some lower sales, some higher ones, whatever. It's a decent average. This set is obviously a no-brainer. You have the Gold Roger, all the other manga cards. We've talked about this so many times. I don't even want to discuss it more, but I'll say it here right now. If you don't have 09, you're definitely going to regret it 2 to 3 years down the road. I think it's going to be the same thing with like OP13 at this point. It kind of seems like that set's going to be even deeper when it comes to card price compared to OP09. I watched Wasi Play's video today talking about some of the early sales data on the OP13 cards in Japan. Those red mangas, the Luffy was obviously the most expensive, then the Ace, the Sabo, then I think the Gold Shanks was the fourth most expensive card. Then you had all of the other mangas. So that set's going to be very expensive, but even if you don't want to buy that right now, OP09, it's basically a year younger or older, essentially. So it might be a better place to put your money right now. I'm not too sure exactly. It really depends on what you can get in terms of pre-order pricing, but both sets get a little bit of exposure to both of those. Now, the one thing I wanted to talk about to close out this video, because you guys ask me all the time to cover promo cards and stuff, a lot of these English second anniversary set cards have been doing very well over the past month. This is the Luffy one, and this was around $50 towards the end of July. We're now sitting around $65, so that's about a 27% increase on the raw single there. And recent sales, you can see a lot yesterday, 3 sales, and then a couple sales on the 23rd. Up as high as $80 and as low as $70 today. So it is in that like 65, 70-ish range, maybe even 75. We had the Shanks as well from the second anniversary set. This is up 34, almost 35% over the past month, moving from around $32 all the way up to $42, $43, and most recent sale, $45, some up as high as $50 from yesterday. Then we have the Shanks. This is the PSA promo card that they did in partnership with Bandai, and this is getting very expensive. We're up to $68 raw, up 53.37% over the past month. And if we come in here and look, most recent sales, right on the dot, $68, $66, so right in that range. I really do love the look of this card as well. I can see why there is demand for it. Now, just a couple more here. These are cards from One Piece Day Dallas 2025. We have the Zoro up 47.95%, up to $54 approximately. You can see a month ago this was like $36, $37, and most recent sales $53, $54. So right in that range of market price. And then finally the Luffy. I think this is probably the card most people are interested in. He has all of the different gears in here, I believe. And this a month ago was around $60. I think you could have bought it under $60 in the middle of June. We're now up over $100, sitting around 104 currently. And most recent sales may be slightly lower than that, but still over $100 for this promo card from One Piece Day Dallas 2025. And that's pretty much going to sum up the video, guys. I just wanted to talk about O5 a little bit because we haven't been discussing. And again, it is quietly moving up. If you guys are in the spreadsheet, you'll note that like a couple months ago when we did the second to last update, there was like 80 or 90 boxes listed below 270. This update, there was sub 60, so like less than 5 cases, below 283. And they're still selling at a decent pace, like somewhere between 2 and 2.5 boxes per day in North America on eBay. So I would not be surprised if we don't get more boxes of O5. If this box is back towards like 280, 290 by the end of the year, I think that's entirely possible, especially with spend increasing normally towards the holiday season. And then also just the hype coming into the hobby. OP13 I think is going to be big, and that could potentially bring a lot of new people into the collecting realm. If you guys got some value out of this content, you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, it helps out a ton. Leave a comment for the algorithm. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.